Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy right here, folks. MMA Reloaded. I am live and direct once again on the mic, episode 32, folks. And today we continue to build up to Almighty Fighting Championships in 2021, where they will hold four events this year: August, September, November, and December, and October. Yeah, folks. But folks, today, and I'm sure you saw last episode on episode 31 that we interviewed Connor Halliday and Captain Jack Atherton. Jack Atherton is one of the prospects, one of the hungry young fighters who will be competing August the 7th at Almighty Fighting Championships. My guest today, he's another one who will go there August the 7th to compete at Almighty. But other than that, he is making wave after wave on the UK amateur scene, winning the winning the UKFC championship on short notice, and also being the reigning almighty featherweight champion, and also 1-0 at Cage Steel as well. So three premier promotions in the UK for the regionals, and he's done all three, and he's dominated all three, man. 7-0 altogether in his career. I'm talking about George Staines. Now, George Staines, folks, for me is perhaps one of those guys. He fits into that mold of one of those guys who is being built up to be something special. I mean, this guy's this kid is a real humble guy. When I spoke to him, I DM'd him and I go to him, bro, you're a young legend already. And I said to him, you're a young legend. He goes, bro, really? But I enjoy the reason why these regional promotions, folks, are so good, whether you're in the UK, whether you're in the US, whether you're in Mexico, or whatever the deal may be over there. It's so good because, if you're watching that, you don't know any of the fighters, or some of the fighters, but you never know who's going to stand out to you. You know what I'm saying? You never know, man. It is one of those things that you say, all right, cool. I watched UK MMA, I watched UKFC, I watched Almighty, I watched Cage Steel, I watched Cage Warriors. If you're in the UK or if you're in the US, I watch Cage Fury, Legacy, CES, Tachi Palace, whatever you watch, wherever you are, whatever regional promotion, if you do follow the regionals and you do follow the amateurs, there is going to be, and I'm pretty sure there is going to be a couple of fighters who do stand up. Yeah. So, folks, George Staines is one of them. I can't wait to have George Staines on, folks. He'll be on in the next 20 minutes. There has been so much talk as of late. After their fight at UFC 264, Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier have gone. They've gone, like this on a collision course. Ended one round. Conor's fucked off, yeah, for now. Yeah, he's just had surgery his eye. Still talking shit. If you may have seen on the ESPN MMA page, but Dustin Poirier is not talking shit. Dustin Poirier is waiting for Charles Oliveira. All right, folks. And for Dustin Poirier to wait for Charles Oliveira, that's next. Yeah, I can't wait to see that because that's lightweight championship. That's the fight Dustin Poirier should have taken instead of fighting Conor McGregor. And I'm just going to be honest right here. Instead of this trilogy, this trilogy for Dustin was only a formality. If he beat Conor McGregor anyway, be it doctor stoppage or TKO submission, straight up, he would have got the title shot anyway, yo. So, for fans saying, "Oh, are we going to see a fourth fight between Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor?" Here's what I say. I say, hell No. Yeah, I say Dustin Poirier, Charles Oliveira. Listen, Charles Oliveira is looking for his first championship defense. Right? He won the title by defeating Michael Chandler, for the vacant championship after Khabib, where some fans thought that, fuck Michael Chandler. Why is Michael Chandler getting the shot? You should put Justin Gaethje or you should put Dustin Poirier in there. Those are the two guys who deserve it. And when Dustin Poirier accepted the Conor McGregor fight, everyone was thinking Justin Gaethje get the shot. Justin Gaethje gonna get the shot. But they put Michael Chandler in there. I'm not diminishing Michael Chandler's accomplishments. Yeah, 3-time Bellator lightweight champion. One of the best lightweights outside the UFC to now come to the UFC and prove that he can still be the best. No doubt, I have respect for Michael Chandler anyway. But when it comes to championship fights, you need to put someone in there who deserves the damn shot, bro. Yeah? You need to put someone in there who deserves the damn shot. And that is where I think a lot of fans had the problem the first time. But Charles Oliveira left that with no doubt and knocked out Michael Chandler. So if you flip the script, Dustin Poirier is beating Conor McGregor now twice. Yeah. And now Dustin Poirier feels that this is, I've proven this. He's proven it. To me, and I'm pretty sure to many fans, Dustin Poirier has proven why he is the best, yeah? And that he is pretty much one of the best fighters in the world today. So, folks, and he's on the power for power ranking for number 6, yeah? I think number 5, something like that. Top 5, he is. Go check that out. that power for power ranking is weird as fuck. But yeah, folks, and then what's next for Conor McGregor? Once he come back, definitely Tony Ferguson. I think Tony needs that fight where he can get really fired up again. You know what I'm saying? He needs that fight where, he can light a fire up his ass, yeah, once again, and really go for it this time. Like he did against, bro, one of his best performances was against Anthony Pettis. That was one of the best fights I've ever seen, bro. Tony was in trouble. Yeah, he was knocked down by Pettis twice. Yeah, he was rolling all over the place. But what does he do? He comes in, and we've seen Tony do this so many times. Comes in and he comes back, bam, bam, bam. Yeah, he puts that pace, that pressure on you. That is what a fight with Conor McGregor would do to Tony Ferguson. Is light that fire up his ass again. For Conor McGregor, a fight with Tony, it would be dangerous for Conor. I'll tell you that right now, because Tony, bro, he's a savage beast, right? Unless you know how to fight Tony, like Michael Chiesa and Beneil Dariush have, you're pretty much like Beneil Dariush, and I think Michael Chiesa faced Tony Ferguson last time. Who faced Tony Ferguson last time, bro? Let me have a look. Yeah. So I get the facts right. You know what I'm saying? So. Plus, I don't like to see this part of Tony Ferguson's record, man, to be fair. Because he's on a 3-5 losing streak here. Beneil Dariush, yeah, last time out. Unless you're Beneil Dariush or you're Charles Oliveira and you know how to fight Tony Ferguson, I think Tony might eat Conor alive still. But it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be one that everyone wants to see. And Conor, I have to say, he looked focused in that Dustin Poirier trilogy, but in the post-fight build-up, and I said it, during that press conference and during the weigh-ins, if you watched my video, was that was a shell of Conor McGregor. That was a shell. What we saw was a shell, and it was a shell that really put on the facade and the fugazi that fans wanted from Conor McGregor for real. Yeah, he gave it to you, but he gave you the version that you would buy off Wish. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I mean. As he gave you the watered down, cheap version of Conor McGregor rather than the real Conor McGregor who fights with real passion and uses that trash talk for real. Uses that trash talk with open your eyes, I will take you down, all right? And with Conor McGregor, yeah, there's always that sort of unpredictable. That's why people love watching him. You know, he still got cheers for that bullshit. But to me, that was just some cringy shit. And Conor McGregor, folks, should really, if he come when he comes back, I'll fix my shit up, man. I'll fix my shit. I'll stop trying to be Conor McGregor the showman and stop being Conor McGregor the fighter. Alright, this is no time to play around. Alright, bro. Bro. I'm just saying, right, folks. This is mixed martial arts. Fighters have evolved past that mind game bollocks. Okay, yeah, you get the social media call outs and social media beef and shit, but bro, it's combat sports. Everyone's beefing you on social media. And then if you want to turn the script around, folks, at welterweight, Kamaru Usman's next title defense, folks, has been rumored. It's been in the works now. Just announced that Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington could be going at it in October, November. Um, you know, for me, yeah, this one's a great fight. I have to say because you kind of never know where this is actually gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Conor McGregor and Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington number one was a classic. It was a welterweight fight for the ages. It was legendary. Um, you know, with number two, Colby Covington riding a high. He's defeated Tyron Woodley. Yeah, yeah. That was after he lost. So after Colby Covington lost to Kamaru Usman the first time, let's just have a look at this. Yeah. So after Colby Covington lost to Kamaru Usman the first time, he defeated Tyron Woodley back in September 2020. Since Kamaru's fight with Colby, he's beaten Jorge Masvidal, he's beaten Gilbert Burns. He's really been there, in the grind with the best fighters in the world. He's beaten Jorge Masvidal twice, beating Gilbert Burns twice, beating Gilbert Burns, and the fact that he actually stopped Colby Covington, yeah, in that last fight, whilst Colby was trying to out pressure him and outpace him, really showed Kamaru Usman's true toughness. I think that's where fans started to really respect Kamaru Usman as a fighter, as a champion. Because before people were just saying he's just a boring ass wrestler, bro. Over his past few defenses, his past few fights after Colby Covington, Kamaru Usman has proven that he is one of the best. There is no doubt about that. He is one of the best, man. So, folks, we are going to do the particulars right now with George Staines. I will be back. Don't go anywhere, though. You know what I'm saying? The video is still, the camera's still rolling. Don't go nowhere, folks. I will be back. Stay tuned. Ladies, yo, welcome back. You know we have to do the particulars. You know, business come first. You know what I'm saying? So, folks, we are live. You know, if you're just joining us, thank you so much for joining us. We're live for episode 32 of MMA Reloaded on the mic. And today, folks, I continue to sit with the brightest and most most naturally talented prospects on the UK scene, of course. You know, on the on the global scene as well in the States. I've sat with some of the most uh, hungriest, intense fighters. You know what I'm saying. Guys with great stories. You know, great maturity. A fantastic look at outlook on the sport. It's really interesting. It's a really intriguing for a journalist, a guy like me who does these type of things. An MMA analyst. It's my life, bro. And for me to sit with these guys, these young guys, not just the more notable guys, you know what I'm saying, that I have been pleasured to sit with, but to sit with these young guys, it really puts things into perspective that they look at this sport the same way the big guys do as well, the way the bigger names do too, in terms of commitment and dedication, hard work, and the whole joint. Some of the young phenoms I've had the pleasure of talking to have had that setback, and that setback has made them a lot more mature on their outlook to the game. And that's so to hear that from a young prospect, say like George, or who will be joining me today, folks, George Staines, or Jack Acton on our last show, or guys who I've spoken to, folks from the Cage Steel 25 interviews that I did, like Kiro Singh Sahota or Elliot Hoy, guys like that. You can never really sleep on these guys, honestly, folks. And this is why regional MMA is so good. This is why regional amateur promotion, amateur MMA is building up right now on the mainstream here in the UK. It's because, and in the US with Cage Steel and XFC, it's because, bro, what you're really getting is you're really getting a compilation of the hungriest fighters. If you're hungry and your heart is actually set on this sport to be the champion, to be successful, to make a career, then your mindset is going to be just like those guys at the top. Yeah, and that's what some of these guys are, man. They are so driven to be the best. Folks, and today sitting with George Staines is going to be a great show, folks. It's a must see. I will be posting it live, folks, on Instagram, or you can tune in, folks, on here live, man, on YouTube. So that's Almighty Fighting Championships, folks. I will be there September the 18th, and also Cage Steel 26, folks. Don't forget to get your tickets, man. It's live in the Instagram bio. The link is live in the Instagram bio, folks. I'm so excited for Cage Steel 26. I'll be there live August the 21st, folks. Having this opportunity to work with Cage Steel, to be to be an affiliate, to be a partner, to work with them, it is absolutely amazing. Yeah, but the guys there are amazing. The crews there are amazing. Dominic Gibbs, the guy the captain on the ship, the captain on the helm, he is amazing. I have so much, they're giving the opportunities that they give to us affiliates. I'm just grabbing, bro. I'm grabbing straight up. Yeah, I'm grabbing them because I want to make a mark. You know what I'm saying? It's all about getting noticed. Yeah, there's always, folks, in this sport. If you're a fighter, if you're a young fighter, it's all about getting noticed. That's why amateur MMA is so interesting, so entertaining, so banging, because you never know what you're gonna see, how you're gonna see. But it's the same thing if you're a promoter, if you're a journalist, if you're an analyst, you want to get your point out. You want to support them, man. You want to support your promotion. You want to support Yeah, you want to give support to these promotions who put these shows on. It's just that's just the way shit. That's just the way it goes, man. You know, that's just the way. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. So, so folks, having said that, and having talked about previously, folks, before we did the particulars, Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington in the works. You got the debut of Paddy the Baddy Pimblett in September the 4th against Luigi Benjamini. You know, folks, Dustin Poirier, Charles Oliveira has to be next. Conor McGregor versus Tony Ferguson has to be next. Yeah, folks. So we're kind of set out in that stone. The only ones that really need to be made and announced and really taken a step forward with is that lightweight division. Now that you know the smoke is cleared, so to speak, with Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor. You know, folks, this weekend also is fight week with Islam Makhachev and Thiago Moises. So we got a real fun fight in that one, folks. Two great young fighters coming up at 155 pounds. Two guys in that top 10, that top 15. Two guys who really are, you know, who have really come out of their shadows and into that mainstream, you know, into that recognition. People are recognizing him after Thiago Moises' last performance. Um, you know, after Islam Makhachev, who keeps impressing and keeps making his name, you know, onto carrying on that Dagestan legacy. You know, there is so much talent in that fight, in that main event, folks. You know, you just need to tune in, man. Wait and see for this one, man. It's going to be a great fight, no doubt about it. Yeah. So, folks, we are almost ready, set for George Staines to join through. So when he does, folks, you know the drill. You know how we do business, live direct. Can't wait to sit with this young stud, folks. So you know, yeah, as I was saying, you know what I'm saying. The matchups, that matchup, folks. Thiago Moises, Islam Makhachev is a fight. It is going to be a battle, folks. It could be a grappling clinic. We know both guys can strike with each other. It is going to be a great main event, folks. Don't forget to check out the breakdown. Yeah, folks, of course we have to break it down, man. The UFC. We have to break down the UFC, man. Also, folks, in 2 nights, Bellator 262, where the women's flyweight championship is also on the line as new champion Juliana Velasquez takes on Denise Kaiholtz, who was the Bellator women's kickboxing champion, and you know also number 6 ranked at the women's flyweight division. So, folks, you know that's that deal for Bellator. You also got after that you got Bellator 263 with one of the most anticipated fights in Bellator history, when we have Patricio Pitbull Freire defending his featherweight championship for the umpteenth time. I think it's like 6th defense of the belt for Patricio Freire for Pitbull, folks. And Pitbull, folks, will take on probably his toughest test today, 17-0. Yeah, 17-0. AJ McKee. Hey, bro, AJ McKee, folks, is a phenom. This kid is a phenom. He is something special. Yeah, outside the cage, you know, he's got the style, got the swag. You know, inside the cage, he's got everything you want in a fight. Great wrestling, fantastic jiu-jitsu submissions. He uses his limbs on the ground like probably no one does. You know that his body is like apex predator, so to speak. You know, takes that from Randy Orton. He uses his body in such innovative ways. It's going to be a real problem. That height, that reach, it's going to be a real problem for Pitbull, man. Pitbull's experience could play a real factor in that one. He could be looking at a guy that he has to really get in tight. He's gonna have to really get in tight on AJ. He can't take AJ's wrestling lightly as well if he chooses to take him down. It's so hard for AJ McKee to it's so hard for Pitbull to sort of time AJ McKee. No one has been able to time AJ McKee as AJ's career has gone on. He keeps getting more impressive and more impressive, folks. Could we be looking at a new Bellator featherweight champion, or will Pitbull, retain and keep being double champ? No one knows these things. You know what I'm saying? No one knows. It's an exact science, man. But that's why it's so unpredictable. That's why we love this sport, man. Whether you're UFC, whether you're Bellator, whether you're PFL, one championship, whether you're an amateur competing at the regionals, you never know. You never know. It's so unpredictable, but so many great fights, folks, coming up. Title fights, main event this week with Thiago Moises versus Islam Makhachev, and of course, MMA Reloaded on the mic, folks. That's a must-see. That is a must-see. MMA Reloaded on the mic is a must-see. So, folks, we are still waiting for George Stain. Hopefully, folks, George will be on, folks, in the next couple of minutes. But yeah, folks, I mean, it's one of these sometimes, yeah, when you have, when you have regional fighters, and I know I keep touching on the regional subject, right? But when you have because it ties in with this with the theme, folks, of on the mic for the next couple of months. So when you have regional fights, a lot of people think that, why should I pay attention to him? Why should I pay attention to her, him, her? Because every fighter that you know right now, every fighter that you know and love has come from the regional circuit. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that you can't really put a finger on. But every fighter that you see, that you know and love, has started somewhere. Yeah, whether it's in an individual martial art, karate, wrestling, taekwondo, or whether they actually do start in MMA straight from the bat. Folks, George Staines is ready. I'm ready. Let's get this underway, man.
Hello,
hey, George.
how you doing?
Yeah, how you doing, buddy? You alright, bro?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks. Not too bad.
Yeah. No, first of all, bro, thank you so much, man, for coming on the show.
Not a problem.
I know it's a 9 o'clock one here, man, in the UK. For the late night viewers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, man, it's great to finally chat to you, man.
Yeah.
I followed your last couple of fights, man. I gotta say, shit. That's why I messaged you. I messaged you that time.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a young legend, man. You're coming up right now.
Oh, cheers. Thank you.
So no, man, for fans who don't know who George Staines is, yeah, bro. And I know you get asked this question but how did it all start for you, bro, in MMA and combat sports? What's the story?
So, from a young age, I was, football fan. My local teams will City, so I used to go watch them, support them. And one of my dad's friends used to run a kickboxing gym. Okay. So basically, he just said to me, he said to my dad one day, "Oh, just bring him down to the gym, and get him kickboxing and that." And then I went down when I was 7, and I haven't really looked back.
Shit. So when you looked forward after starting out kickboxing at such
Yeah,
a young age, 7 years old, bro.
yeah,
Um, so when you did that, when you started off at 7 and into kickboxing, what made you want to compete and sort of take a
yeah.
step forward towards MMA?
So, well, initially I wanted to be do boxing and kickboxing initially. I just thought, oh, I'm in the world because I didn't really see, like a lot of people do it with, do martial arts and don't compete, which is fine, completely fine.
Yeah.
I have nothing against it, but for me personally, I've just got that drive to win all the time, and for me personally, it's pointless to not compete because I love competition.
Um,
Uh, and then when I wanted to start I wanted to start doing MMA when I turned probably about 16, 15.
okay. Yeah, man. So was that so, bro? It's been actually been a really long journey for you, man, through
Oh
martial
yeah,
arts, then, bro. Yeah,
yeah,
because
yeah.
of course, starting at a young age, yeah, 7 years old, you don't really know what to think. You know what I'm saying?
No,
And then as you got older, was that what really swayed your decision to
oh
compete?
yeah. So like, just because like as I got older, obviously time's a bit more precious in it.
Definitely, definitely.
Because I was playing football at the time as well, and due to a couple other things, my dad was having to drive me to training. He had to take my sister to do like drama practice, pick me
Yeah,
back up, take me back to football, and pick my sister back up. And it's a long night, so I had to give up football, but it was the best decision of my life. Yeah, it genuinely was. And looking back from that, I just wouldn't change anything. And from then, I just knew I wanted to compete, and that's like it's always just been my drive to compete and win.
and I mean, now when we move forward into your MMA career, now one of the top amateurs in the UK, bro, you're coming into Almighty Fight Championships August the 7th, bro, where
Yeah,
Almighty kick off the 4 events, and you're coming in as a reigning featherweight champion. But before that, you took UKFC on short notice.
yeah,
Uh, bro, I mean, when I heard it was short, I thought it was actually a real camp,
a
and you actually
boxing,
went in
yeah,
there. But how many days notice was that, bro?
13. Well, so I got messaged 2 Sundays before the fight, so 13 days.
Gee, and physically, yeah, George, how were you feeling? Physically and mentally coming in because it was a title fight. Uh,
Yeah,
so physically and mentally, but how were you actually feeling?
I was I was feeling great, to be fair. I literally, because I was going to just start my cut that week for Almighty 7th on August 7th. 6 weeks. It's about standard for a weight cut camp really. Just knock it off nice and slow, not too much, not too little. And then obviously I got the message. So obviously my dieting had to become a little bit more not stricter, but I had to be a bit more intense. But mentally, I was fine. I knew I knew I'd come out with my hand, raised and with a belt. So I knew everything was fine in my head, and I physically felt great. I'd been sparring great, the week before, been, rolling great. It felt brilliant.
And do you have much weight to cut when you do training camps?
So when I do so like for that one, it wasn't too bad because I was floating about 75. So I lost 5 kilos in 2 weeks, which isn't, unheard of for MMA fighters, really.
That's actually
Yeah,
quite simple. So
yeah,
is that usually the way you go? Is give yourself around 5 to maybe 6
yeah,
kilos to lose each weight cut?
yeah, yeah,
Nice,
yeah,
nice, nice. And when people ask you for and they say to you, George Staines, bro, you're almighty champion. Now you're UKFC champion, undefeated 7-0. Um, when people ask you that, and do you get people who sort of try and
yeah.
say to you, George, bro, shit, man, you're the best. You're almighty champ.
Yeah,
Do you get people like that? So,
yeah,
um,
you get a few. But it's to be
but
expected, isn't it? It's to be expected.
it is, man. It is, boy. And it's all congratulatory at the end of the day.
Yeah,
But how does that make you feel as a fighter?
yeah.
So
Just
go
makes
for
me
it.
feel great. 'Cause it legit, it just shows that all my hard work's paying off. Like, because like obviously I'm winning. If I was winning in that, obviously the work shows it. It shows itself, doesn't it? But like, because people are like, congratulate me, saying, oh, you're the best and all this, all this noise and that, just makes me feel good because it's like it shows that I'm entertaining as well. Because obviously you want to be good as a fighter, but you also want to be entertaining because that's what really gets you noticed.
Yeah, man. Straight up, bro. And that's what I'm saying, man. In this sport, it's all about the work you put
Yeah,
in, the work you're gonna get out. So,
yeah,
so when we talk about that, we talk about commitment, we talk about dedication, which is pretty much your base of being an MMA fighter. Yeah, well,
yeah,
what's
yeah.
your how important is that to you, man? Now at this stage in your career, still so early, how important is that for you, man, to keep that
Oh,
motivation, keep it going?
uh, it's ridiculously important for me because like I know people stagnate when like they start to get good or start to get praise. Like, oh, I can calm down a little bit now, because like I'm dominating everyone. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm getting praise from so and so. But for me, like obviously, like getting a praise is great. I'll never tell people don't do it because it makes me feel great. But it just makes me feel, oh, I can be better than this. I know I can be better than this. So like I just legit after the fight I did a on Sunday evening I did a 5K afterwards.
Oh
Just 'cause I
shit.
wanted to I just wanted to get back training again. I'm back in yesterday, back in tonight, training Monday, training morning evenings. I just wanted to get back in there because I need to just always push and push and push to know that I am the best.
Yeah, man. No, 100%, bro. Bro, for me, Georgia, it's so refreshing for me to hear that come from a guy like you.
Yeah,
A guy who's still evolving, a guy who's still an amateur rank. Normally you
yeah,
hear that from the bigger pros.
yeah,
Yeah, but to hear it come from you, man, and this is what I was saying before I went on before we went live. I was
yeah.
saying that it's some of the maturity, the mindset, the motivation that a fighter like you has, yeah, is amazing to me,
Oh, thank you.
because it's something that as professional as you said, yeah,
Mhm.
guys who think shit, but I'm dominating everybody,
Yeah.
7-0, 9-0, 10-0, yeah, I can chill out, eat a couple of donuts, but
Mm.
nah, it's not like
Nah,
that.
he's always got to push.
Yeah, man. And so when you come into fights, Georgia, when you come into training camps, bro, do you usually mix up your routine, man, or do you try and keep it the same across is it the same?
So I try and keep it as similar as possible.
Okay.
Mate, it'll, like obviously like it'll change up, like for specific, like for certain training camps. But like I'll try and like keep my sparring, Friday, uh, my specific, the stuff that I really need to specific days, and
Yeah.
I get like the general working on different days. But the sparring and the the actual specific stuff for my fight camp that I really need, I try and keep it on the same days because then I can have, like obviously because you're burning slightly more calories on the harder days, so you can schedule your food intake and that. So you got to be clever about it.
Yeah, man. No, 100% more. But do you think that as you continue to evolve in your career, bro, would you want to sort of are you the type of guy who after a fight, if you're not happy with something or something specific that you might want to work on the next training session, are you the type of guy to go in there and sort of to do that and rewatch a fight and
Yeah,
build that into your training routine as well?
yeah,
Yeah. Um, how
yeah. So
important?
like, there's been a couple of points in fight. So there's been a couple points in fights. Watching the footage back, I'm just like, oh, I can't stand to watch that bit. Sometimes, I'll look away at the screen because it's embarrassingly bad sometimes. To the point where I was just like, I can't believe I did that. It's just like, oh my God, that was so bad. How did I not get, not just thinking, because obviously it's in the heat of the moment, but how did I not get caught there or something like that? And me and my coach will pick it apart, and, we'll fix it. And I think we do that quite well.
Yeah, man. And when you do go into fights, is it George? Bro, no, I thought I cut out, man.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I thought I cut
No.
out. So when you do go into fights, George, is it how important is it for you to follow that game plan all throughout? So round 1, 2, 3, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Do you always try to stick to the game plan, or sometimes do you get a bit swayed off,
So
start going with the flow?
the game plan is obviously very important, and obviously depending on how skilled the opponent, obviously depends on how deep you need to go in the game plan. But obviously you've got to go with the motion sometimes. Like, say if you see something, you need to take it there and then, because you might not see it in your footage, your fight analysis. You might not see it, and you might see it in that, that split moment. You might just see an opportunity, and you need to take them shots. And if you don't, then it's great because your fight plan might thingy. But sometimes I'll just go with emotion. I'll try and stick to the game plan as much as possible, because that's how you stay safe in there. And that's how you get your win, really. But like I say, them split moments are really what it's about, the variables.
Yeah, but that's it though, right? I mean, that all comes to your mindset during the fight as well, right? And the fact that even if you are in trouble in round 1, it's up to you as a fighter in round 2 to come out and say, "Bye," and follow your coach's advice. But then you get these fighters who sort of go with the flow because of events that may happen during a fight.
Yeah.
So do you? So would you say you could get swayed off into going with the flow and changing in the middle?
So because it's real funny. I've got 2 examples of that. So when I fought Marlon, I stuck to the game plan perfectly, and we managed to get the early finish. We was expecting it to go to 3-4 rounds, but I got the early finish on that. And then with Teddy, I just thought the game plan was to stick and strike, move around quite a lot, use my jab to work the range. But I ended up taking him down a few times because that wasn't in the game plan whatsoever. But I saw his hips come high, and I saw the opportunity to take him down. Yeah. So it's just 2 funny examples, real recent ones as well. So you can sometimes get swayed. It's just about keeping your mind focused. If you let your mind, come off the rails a little bit, that's when you start forgetting your game plan. You've always got to keep it in the back of your mind, just in case, when you've gone with emotion and that it does go wrong. So you can go revert back to your game plan. You've always got to keep it in the back of your mind.
Yeah, man. And when we talk about the lessons that you take away as well after the fight, and we talked about going to the gym and analyzing your fights afterwards, man. But when you look at amateur MMA in general, and you look at your career in general, and what lesson? And I know as 7-0, it's like your mind is like a sponge, when you're learning and you're learning and you're learning. What lessons would you say you've taken away, so far in your career?
So, never underestimate anyone is a big one, because sometimes you underestimate someone and they bring up some good stuff, and it shocks you a little bit. So you should never underestimate anyone. Be ready for people pulling out and that, because it happens. Or be ready for short notice fights. You always be ready. And another good one: stay. Don't balloon up. Don't get too big outside your weight category. Stay in the same weight category zone. So I like to stay around 75, 76 kilos. I feel comfortable at that weight.
Yeah. And you know, as a well, I have to say, yeah, as a young fighter, would you, you know, and some amateurs, you know, they fight in 3, 4 weight categories, man. You know, they
Yeah,
because they feel that, all right, cool, you know, this part of my career don't really, you know, it don't really matter.
yeah.
Um, but would you say that that staying in your weight category, no matter if you're an amateur or pro, is so critical because not only are you preparing for professional, yeah, where weight cutting is 100 times more strict,
Oh yeah.
but you're really doing it for your own health, right? But I mean,
So I agree. I think it is important to stay in your own category. So say like I start fighting at, obviously because I fight at feather all the time. I've had a couple lightweight, but I prefer to fight at feather. Like say if I want, like start to fight at lightweight a lot more, I might get lazy. Like I might get lazy with my cutting, lazy with my, training because I don't have to train. But I don't have to train as hard. But like in terms of like losing weight, I don't have to push it as hard because I don't have to go as low. Especially mentally, it does more for your mental game. So I think it is really important to stay to your weight category, like, and for health as well. Do you know what I say? I can fight at welterweight. They're too big. I can get away. I can get away with lightweight because I'm like 6'1". I'm pretty tall, so I can keep the height in that. But like welterweights are just massive.
yeah, dude, man, no, 100%, bro. And when you prepare for fights, yeah, George. You know, sometimes if you're in a training camp, do you study your opponent quite a bit more to see if there's anything that you would excel at into the fight?
Yeah. So like we all obviously we look at the fight analysis of our opponents because it's the intelligent thing to do, and it'd be like I don't know. I don't know a good analogy for it, but it'd be like walk into a room blindfolded, not knowing what's going on. So yeah, we watched the fight and we're looking for any strengths and weaknesses. So like, say if I certain things I might not have to change because like obviously I'm showing my strength, but if I have any weaknesses, we'll just drill them. Let's drill them in. So like we'll reverse engineer it. So like say if say someone's got a really good mount. So we'll start in the mounted positions, in the worst possible, like high, high hips, really far up my shoulders, ground and pound. And we will start from there and reverse it. So like I'm starting in the worst position as early on as possible, so I get as much time in that bad position as possible.
Yeah. So high hips. So you mean like when you stack the guard?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So like so you're used to them bad positions for 6-8 weeks. So when you actually get into the fight, you're so used to just defending them already that you're like, fine, I know what to do right now.
And
it's second nature.
Yeah, man, 100%, bro. And because you're 6'1", yeah, I'm fighting a featherweight. You would.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Good.
Yeah, I was just turning it up.
Because you're 6'1", bro, and and I can imagine at featherweight, bro, you must have a huge reach advantage over your opponent. So would that be something that you drew as well? Say if because you're primarily a striker, and you want to keep it down, even though you have good wrestling.
Yeah.
Say if you're fighting a shorter fighter, would something you would draw in the gym? Would that be to would that be to use your reach?
Yeah. So like I'm a super rangy fighter anyway. So I'm so used to using my my length and my reach. But like a lot of some of the guys that I spar with, but like we've got some like 5'7", 5'8" guys, 5'9", we've got the full range. So I'm used to fighting small people who want to get in on me. So it's naturally kind of embedded into me anyway.
Yeah.
Like, but obviously we do work on it because obviously like you'll get some people who just don't care about getting hit and it's like roll and duck through. So it's it's not being ready, like getting your cross framing, circling, preparing for that double leg if they shoot for you. Because obviously, say if you're long range striker, you're fighting someone who's a bit smaller, they probably want to got to get under your hips, take it down, take that reach away. Because it's taken quite a lot of game. Really, so we always prepare for that.
we've seen it quite a few times. Yeah. So a couple of examples would be Michael Chandler versus Dan Hooker. You come in,
Yeah.
and you know, he's trying to find the shorter guy's trying to find a way to get inside on you, right?
Yeah.
So once again, yeah, George, like we spoke about before, was the game plan, right? And sort of implementing that strategy to keep the shorter guy on the outside. Would that normally be something you would do anyway, even if he wasn't the shorter guy, and if he was a bit taller? Would that sort of be your
Yeah.
normal game plan going into fights?
Yeah. So like, yeah, it would be. So yeah, just I think if you're like, even if you're small, you can still learn how to manage distance properly. So like, trying to think of a smaller person. Well, Max does it real well. Max Holloway, because he ain't got a particularly long reach for fed. Considering how tall he is, if you actually look at his reach compared to like a lot of the other guys, it's small. He's got a smaller reach. I think he's got the same reach as Volkanovski, who's like
Bro, Mike,
real small.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mike's arms they're not that long, is it? Yeah.
No.
So and you see the way he fights in the pocket as well. It's like
Yeah,
he's
good box. Yeah, real. Not like MMA, real good MMA boxing.
Yeah, 100%.
So like, it's all about your footwork. Like a short guy can fight long. You just got to learn how to do it.
Oh yeah, man.
But obviously, having a reach is helpful.
keep the guy away like that.
Yeah.
How that feels, man. But I'm 6'5". I know how that feels.
Oh really?
Yeah, man. So now, man, we're in the tall guys club.
Yeah.
But so if we flip the script and we go into when you go to fight, yeah, and you go into and you've been in Almighty Fighting Championships where you spent most of your career, and then you've also had Cage Steel where you're 1-0 against Stafford Swainson, bro, and that's crazy. And then at UKFC, we're looking at probably three of the most premier regional promotions out there.
Oh yeah, defo.
So when you fight at these promotions and you go to say you spent most of your career Almighty, when you go to Cage Steel or when you go to UKFC, is it a different experience for you, George? Or is it sort of because of that experience at Almighty, is it the same? And
so like obviously every fight show's like slightly different, the orders, the way they run things, but like the basis of it is pretty much the same. Like you got your changing room, you got your area, you got the con. To be fair, most of like the cut men, the refs, they're all the same. They're all at every shows, and all the commentators are all the same. So you see a lot of familiar faces. To get like a good chat going, and like obviously at the beginning, when you're first fighting, it's a bit daunting because you're like, oh god, no, I'm getting this, that first adrenaline boost. So like you don't know what to do with them. But as you just get, more and more experience, it just becomes more normal. Like, so like the one from like last time I fought on Almighty to this time, on UKFC.
yeah.
The only difference really I thought was the location. I didn't really feel any difference.
Where did you have to travel to go to UKFC, man?
So it was in Preston.
I was in Preston. Okay.
It was in Preston. Yeah.
Hold up. I think you froze there, bro. There. No, yeah.
So
now you went to Preston to go to UKFC, but and how far is that for you, man? Is that quite
so
right?
It was about 2.5 hours. It wasn't too bad. I was glad it wasn't in Wrexham.
Oh, okay.
It'd have been even longer. It must have been in Wrexham, but it got cancelled. So it got moved to Preston, which I was glad for. I was actually pretty glad for.
So now, yeah, fuck the long drives, bro. I hate that.
Oh yeah.
So for you, man, and do you usually not only with the change of venue, like you mentioned, it doesn't really make a difference to you, bro, but at 7-0, yeah, and I think a lot of I think you said it before, where a lot of undefeated fighters start to put their guard down. You know,
Mm.
do you feel pressure when you come into fights, George? Or do you feel that I worked hard for this? I can go in there and
No,
punch.
yeah. So I always feel like I've worked hard enough. So I don't, like, I do and I don't. Like, I always feel confident when I've walked in, but like, it's what makes you a champion when you think, oh, did I work hard enough? Did I push that session? Did I do enough this time? That's the champion's mindset. That, because you're always thinking just about, did I do enough? Am I pushing hard enough? And that's really what I think sets me apart from other people. Like, when people have done a 10K, they've maybe doing, like 45 minutes. If I got that time, I'd be gutted. Like, genuinely, I want to be getting, like sub 45s every time.
Yeah.
And it's all about that. I'm always trying to push that next level.
And when you're in training camp going into a fight, compared to when you're not going into a fight and you're just in the gym for a normal session, yeah, bro. Do
Mm-hmm.
you sort of keep the same pace regardless, or is it or do you push harder when you're in training camp going into a fight?
So I definitely push harder when I'm in training camp, obviously, because that's the whole point. Excuse me. Oh, bless me. Obviously, I push harder. Look, obviously, I push harder when I'm in training camp, because obviously that's the whole nature of a training camp. To reach your limits, to reach it, to red line. But I do push, obviously, when I'm out of training camp as well. I'm still trying to develop. I'm just trying to, get new skills, and you got to have fun as well at the end of the day. Because if you're not having fun, then you're just going to get bored of it and want to stop. So when I'm out of training camp, I always try and have a lot of fun.
No, yeah, 100%, bro. And I guess when you're in a regular training session, George, is that when you sort of work on specifics, if you will, or sometimes, or would you find yourself off out of training camp working on a lot of specific things like we discussed about before, or would it be just working as it comes, like in your
So,
routine?
like, at first, when I'm out of training camp for like the first couple 3-4 weeks, we'll work on all the weaknesses that we saw in my performance. So we get them sorted out straight away, so no one can use it against me. And then, like, obviously, depending on how quick I'm back in training camp for, if I have time, I'll try new skills. Like, for example, in jiu-jitsu, work on new heel hooks, work on new jiu-jitsu systems, work on a new stance in kickboxing, work on new striking patterns. And then obviously when you get back in training camp, you work on what your opponent's weaknesses are, and how to exploit them, and just how to develop you tiny little bits. You don't want to get you don't want to try and push too much. But in the same breath, you do.
I think so. I think
Yeah,
a lot of people have different mindsets, right? I mean, you can,
yeah,
to if they're considering about health and safety, they might not spar as much,
yeah.
or they might not, cut that much weight. They might leave themselves a few pounds to cut, a few kilos.
Counts. Yeah.
So, so would you say that when you push that hard, are you concerned about anything, like maybe sparring, and does that sort of run through your
So,
mind?
I'm not, but my coaches definitely are.
And
My
then,
coach is there because they call me on it all the time. Say I shouldn't be training that hard. I shouldn't be pushing that hard. But like in my head, that's what makes makes someone a champion. Like that pushing. And I know obviously you have got to be intelligent at certain times. Like say, like I'll get a small nick or something on my face. I know I shouldn't be training after that, because obviously you don't want it to reopen. You don't want it to get any worse, because obviously the fight means more than the actual session.
yeah, but would you say that there was a lot of saying going around that when you are training, that your that training sessions and sparring can't match the pace that you have in a fight.
Yeah,
Would
no,
you
the
say
guy.
that's true? Yeah.
Yeah, no one can match my pace, because that's because I push so hard. Like I'll like I say, I did a run the day after the fight, because that's because I knew I could have. I felt pretty fit on the fight, but the pace that I can put on, because of the amount of cardio, amount of power sprints, and all the rest of the S&C that I do, I don't think it's not. I don't think it's matched really. I think I do. I think I push a lot harder.
And coming into Almighty for August the 7th, are you defending the belt?
Yes, yeah,
Like,
I'm defending.
how does that feel, man? When you go
It
into
feels good because it'll be my first defense of a belt.
I was
So it'll be
yeah,
yeah. So it'll be a new feeling for me because obviously, like for the last 2 title fights, I've been chasing. I've been chasing them, so it'll be a new feeling for me. You know, someone coming up trying to fight me for man. But ultimately, it'll just be the same. You know, like I was trying to change my mind, not mindset, but you know, my outlook for it. Like I was thinking he's the champion, and I'm coming back for that belt. You know, so it keeps me hungry. So it keeps me really hungry.
that's a good way to think, bro.
Yeah.
Because it takes less pressure off you, right? And
And not even the pressure. It wasn't even, you know, for like pressure.
yeah.
It's just like, you know, to keep me like, you know, not aggressive because that leads to mistakes.
Keep you
But
hungry. Keep you
yeah, it
hungry.
keeps me really hungry.
Let's say you're hungry, man.
Yeah.
You're looking at the other guy like a meal deal, bro. And
Yeah.
straight up, man.
Yeah, I like that.
So would you say that your mindset is there is no to you that there would be no difference between chasing the belt towards defending the title?
No, because like obviously if you win a belt, fantastic, great. But what really sets you apart from the rest is when you defend.
100%. That's what
Because
makes you a champion.
that's what solidifies you.
That's what makes you a champion. That's what gives you that verification, that verification, that vindication, bro. Because you need it, right? Yeah, and you know, everyone says that you can win the title,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
if you go in there and you defend it, you're a real champion, bro.
Yeah, you're a proper champ.
Yeah. So no, man, 100%. And I wish you all the best, George. Yeah, going into
Oh, thank you.
I wish you all the best, man. And you know, just to wrap it up, tell me who are some of the fighters or family who have inspired you to come into MMA.
So my OG idol was obviously not obviously but Ali.
Oh, yeah.
Ali. I think he's the greatest of all time. Boxer. I know people disagree with me, but you can't take it. It was too bright for me. I can't lie. I love him. Like I legit watched, you know, loads of motivational speeches, and it was just amazing. And the way that he did in the cage and outside the not the cage, the ring. Sorry, out the ring. It was amazing. And more, you know, modern fighters. Khabib, obviously, for obvious reasons, just mauled everyone. Izzy, I love a bit of Izzy, and Holloway. Holloway is just amazing.
Yeah, 100%, man. That's a great list, man, right there. Muhammad Ali, Max Holloway, Israel.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that, bro. For sure. But now, George, once again, man, all the best, man.
Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure.
But I hope it's yeah, man, straight. It's been a pleasure for me too, man. It's been my pleasure.
Glad to hear.
Thank you, man. Thank you for coming on the show.
No worries.
And have a good night, bro.
You too. See you soon. Thank you.